So here's today's practice course. Basically just the 4 cardboard targets. That target's at 12 yards on the far left. This one that's second from the left is at 6. This front one's at 4. And that back one, don't mind the head off onto the side to the right, that one's at 15 yards. So what I'm working on today is getting my eyes to snap to a specific point on the target and being able to do that across all 4 of these targets. It's a bit of a challenge for me today. So what you'll see is back there on that 12-yard target, there is a white paster, but there's no white paster there. And there's a white paster there, and you don't see one back there. So the concept here is I'm looking to hit as close as I can to that paster, 2 shots. Then I want to mimic those hits in terms of the location on the empty target. Same thing here, and then the same thing there. It's almost like when you were learning how to ride a bicycle. You'd have somebody that would be running behind, holding on to your seat, and then they'd let go a little bit here and there. Once you got a little bit wobbly, they'd catch you, you'd catch your balance, and then you'd make your way. So same thing here. That white one's a guide. Then I need to see how I'm doing without the guide. Then I have a guide, and I need to see how I'm doing without the guide. I'll probably start with just the 2 because that's a lot going on there. So you'll see me work back and forth on those 2, and then I'll start to incorporate the other 2. After about 5 or 6 runs, I guess, 2, 3, 4, somewhere thereabouts. Looks like I had a flyer over here. You can see that. Probably trying to get on the trigger a bit too quick. Should see a bit more grouping over here. I know my red dot's zeroed. I zeroed it at 18 yards before I came to the range. It's a little bit better here. I could definitely go faster in terms of splits. As I start opening up and bringing in the other 2 targets, I'll go a little bit faster there, but I wanted to break this down into smaller pieces. .22's up front. That's what we have here. Draw was a little bit slow, 1.5. Could probably go faster. 22 split. I believe I did hit that, was my first shot there. And I just got a little impatient. Maybe grip got sloppy there. 23 here, second shot. .77 back here with a .57. I was aiming right at the A, at the top part of the A, and I hit right there. So here's what we look like after about 4 runs. I was going towards the higher end of confirmation 2, if that's such a thing. Looks like I'm decent there, although I have a couple flyers. My transition here is about .45, .4. And then my second shot's usually mid to low 20s. I can definitely see what the problem is here. I'm just not being patient. It's just that simple. The last run that you just saw, I really tried to focus here a little bit more. It looks like I definitely hit one there, maybe a double ring, but at any rate, I'm just seeing, hey, I'm close enough and I'm just pulling the trigger. I need to be a little bit more patient here. I can definitely see, and you see the shots kind of going off to the left. Closer target, Similar problem, not quite as bad. I think this index point really gives me something to snap onto, so you don't see it as pronounced, but then again, it's closer, but you still see that little bit of a trend there. So it's usually take me about 0.7 to get back here, transition, and I'm doing a split at 0.5 or 0.4. I'm aiming here. Still see a little bit of that trend, a little bit more consistent. So what am I learning? I need to be a little bit more patient on the targets in between where I start and where I end, because the end's not so bad. So I did a run, actually 2 runs right to left. First one was like 4.9, second one was about 4.5. That's the one you just saw. About a 1.4 to draw to this. Could probably go a little bit faster, but I'm really hunting for the top part of that A. As I shot this one, I noticed a lot of wobble, which caused that shot to kind of fly off to the right there, more so than normal. I think you probably saw that on the video on that last run. A little bit better here. It's taking me about a half second to transition. I'm hunting for this spot here. I took my time on the split there. I was like 0.4. Then getting to this back one. This back one here is about 0.7. I'm really hunting for that spot a little bit more. And you see splits at about 0.4 there. So similar trend, maybe not quite as pronounced, but I really have to be conscious of where I'm aiming and really look at that point and make sure I get that dot close to that point, and then I'm popping off. I am not watching the dot, and it's not luring me in, for lack of a better analogy.